the Princess Bride game.
Thanks, Wade. We're going to do this sort of front side first. We're going to put a demo up. I'm going to have somebody tell you a little bit about the game. I'm not going to do it. They're going to tell you. We'll go through some of the features we want to talk about. Then we're going to come back a little bit and talk about it a little bit more wider from a game design perspective a little bit, and also about some of the groovy technology. So let's take a look first. Yes, it's a Mac Air, and it's really skinny.
Miracles. All that exciting stuff lies ahead. But you'll need this. Go on, take it. My people! Unbelievable! Oh, my dear Wesley, happening. That's Wesley. Welcome to the Princess Bride game. This map is how you get around. Here, I'll show you how it works.
Nice giggles. So what you're seeing here is sort of the centerpiece of the game itself. I apologize, it's a little bit cut off at the bottom. We licensed the IP from the Princess Bride, obviously. And this is sort of the center part of the game. You move out from here in different directions. There's going to be 5 sort of major game sections, 5 episodes. Each of those is really a different game type. If you think about a Zelda game, it's more like that. Up at the top, there's a game called As You Wish. That's sort of a time management game, not unlike a Dash game. It takes place on a farm, and while on the one hand you're trying to make sure Wesley keeps his job as a farmhand by, actually, first of all, who has seen The Princess Bride? Awesome. Okay, so Wesley's got to keep his job as a farmhand while simultaneously seducing the lovely Buttercup by doing whatever it is that she asked him to do. So that game's called As You Wish, and it's pretty fun. Battle of the Wits is next up, where you have to match your mind against the mind of Vizzini, who's a pretty smart cat. Game number 3 is down here. It's a little cut off. I apologize for that. It's called the Fire Swamp. It's a cooperative platformer, similar to Exit perhaps in some ways, but it's got its own touches that make it pretty special. And of course, there are flames. And the last game is called Storming the Castle, and in that you are inside Humperdinck's castle. You have to get inside by assembling enough assets so that you can build a siege engine, which allows you to get in there and to rescue the princess and have a happy ending. The game that I'm going to talk about now is called Miracle Max, and this, I'll come back in game design and talk about why we wanted to do this particular game. It's obviously a key point in the game itself, but let's take a look at it right now.
Got to help me first. Here's a list of things I need you to find. Can you handle that? Click around to find stuff that I need.
So we're specifically looking at the casual downloadable market, and we wanted to, particularly in this case, mix game types. Starting off with something very, very familiar, which is the surprisingly popular hidden items genre, which is about 7 out of 10 on Big Fish right now. So if you look at the top downloaded games. So we wanted to have an anchor for people to come in and be familiar with. Particularly, we're trying to pull in an audience that maybe is not so familiar with gaming. I'll show you how this works really quickly. You look around. Click on an object, and it's fun. Got some sharp jaws, a little bit of dragonfly. A little hard to tell on this screen, but there's actually dust floating around in here. Mr. Max doesn't keep his house very well.
Good work. Follow me.
So, magical transition.
Stuff that you just found, I was able to make some nifty ingredients. Now, mix them together to make hippopotamic mash potion. It's very simple. You just drag the ingredients to the cauldron. And listen, if you get stuck, try the book. Although, trust me, it won't be much help.
Okay, so I'm going to give this a try. So we've got a little smoke, a little bit of change in the cauldron there, and the object of this game is to figure out how to mix the potions, as you're going to see up showing in the spell book on the right.
Great job, I'm so very proud of you. Now, listen, what I need is untruth serum.
So the player's job is to figure out how to mix these different potions by figuring out the specific kind of chemistry of them. The idea is not to put a chemistry set in front so much as to put kind of almost a cooking kit in front of people so they can try different things. Now the cool thing about this is that this cauldron is very much alive. You can stir it yourself, and you can add these ingredients in order to mix the potions. And I got that totally wrong. So I'm going to move on and take a look at some of the game design and how we got here for this particular look.